This video is about how to attract a man in ways that he can't resist. Watch out to the end as I will share with you ways you can sexually attract a man and ways to get a man to think about you all the time. First of all, this channel is created to be motivating, educative, informative, entertaining, and critical. I am more intimidated than ever to approach a woman in the 21st century. Why? You can do all just as much as we can now. So we are lacking the confidence that our forefathers had when roles were more clearly defined. How to attract a man in ways that he can't resist. What do men find sexy? I'll be sharing with you simple ways you can get him to notice, tips and tricks that will help you to grab the attention of the guy you have been eyeing across the room. Man can be hard to read. It's important to avoid playing mind games, but if there is a guy that you're eyeing, there are ways to catch his attention. Let's share some of the tips and the tricks that can help you to get a man to focus his attention. First thing that you can do is actually to smile. Go to places that make you happy, where men happen to be. A man is going to notice a woman who is having a good time and relaxing. So don't hide in a corner. Stay away from hiding yourself in a corner with furniture and plants. It's important to find something useful to do wherever you are, whether it's chiming in a group conversation or briefly maneuvering your way through the bar, because guys will notice you being active and not trying to play hide and seek. He's asked for his help. As old as this sounds, men really like being helpful. Open up about challenging situation at work or ask for an app recommendation. Think whatever you can and ask him that makes him think he's smart. Other than his stomach, through helpfulness is best way to get to him. Is that talk about your hobbies. Talk about the little things that you do, like keeping fresh flowers at home, doing yoga, reading a book every week, getting a good night's sleep, or watching Netflix movies and the kind of movies that you like. This might seem insignificant, but any sign of a centered and balanced lifestyle is encouraging to a man. Thing that I like to comment is that don't dress for your girlfriends. Guys don't understand fashion trends, so save your off-the-shuffle tops for your girl's night. The best way to catch a man's eye is wear something timeless, a classic outfit that is comfortable and you know it works for you. Look at him in the eye. I will recommend some classics. Direct eye contact, but don't stare them down. Either some friendly eye to eye will let him know that you're interested, and don't be afraid to eye flick across the room. Avoid the obvious. Don't name drop. If a man compliments you of something that you're wearing, you shouldn't start name dropping the brand because you might come off as a materialistic girl. You should say you're happy they notice and quickly transition into another conversation. That is the kind of good wisdom that you should use. The same goes for food and drink and locations. Even if you go to the coolest bars and restaurants, you shouldn't talk about more under the table spots. You should be more interesting and chat being quirky, and as opposed to appearing to know it all. Is to go out alone or with one of your friends. My advice is against surrounding yourself with giggle of girls. When going out, you will be hard to single out if you're in a group. If you go out in a group, try to stand out from the crowd and find a way to get by yourself. Make it clear that you have something appealing about you, and by commenting on the conversation the guy you have an eye is having, show off your brains and personality, not just your looks. Go out alone or with one other friend. My advice is against surrounding yourself with girls. When going out, you'll be hard to single out if you're in a group. If you go out in a group, try to stand out from the crowd and find a way to get by yourself for a bit. Make it clear you have something appealing about you. By commenting on the conversation the guy you have your eye on is having, and show off your brains and personality, not just looks. We have such a hard focus on looks right now. It is refreshing to see a woman who is a fan and she's interested and intriguing. Remember also to say thank you. It turns out that men actually get annoyed when women don't say thank you. Even the most confident guy needs a thank you. You don't even have to say in person. Grab his number and text him after he buys you a drink. Something about seeing it in writing feels better, and it is such an easy way to appreciate somebody. Stay off your phone. It's a small world. While your head is down intriguing on your meal, you could be meeting someone who's right next to you. Even if you're in an elevator, make an effort not to look at your phone and see who is around you. It's refreshing for a guy to see that a woman that's not glued on their phone or taking a selfie. The next thing is to bring your interest to the bar. Bring a book to read at the bar or at your joint where you hang out. Guys are looking for a reason to come up to you. So give him a unique one. If reading is not your thing, bring a sketchboard, journal, or whatever hobby that you have that you can take to go. Next is wear funky jewelry. Men will want to approach you with a comment or question. So if you're wearing something or eye-catching and shiny, he'll be able to use that as a conversation opener. Wear your biggest ring or most interesting earring and hit 2 birds with 1 stone by having cute accessories on your side and drawing someone in for the conversation. Finally, be yourself. There's no point of trying to be someone that you're not. Watching this far, and as promised, let's look at the tips of how you can attract a man in a way that he cannot resist. You have one friend and you know her, the one that has a steady rotation of guys chasing after her. She may be drop gorgeous, but more often than not she seems just pretty normal. What is about her that makes her so irresistible? Today I'm going to let you into one secret. She has no secret. It's just that your desirable friend knows how to play the game. You can learn too. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to attract a man in some tips to up your desirable factor. These tips will help you to get and keep the attention of anyone that interests you and maybe some guys that you don't. But before we move on, I want to emphasize one thing. This video is not about changing who you are. You're already fantastic and you don't need to change who you are to attract a guy. Instead, this video is about teaching you to enhance the select few qualities so that you can put your best foot forward. So how will you attract a man's attention? Let's talk about how to start receiving the attention that you want from men. As you'll see, these tips have nothing to do with looks. Sure, looks come in a play in one level or another, but attracting someone is about much more than your appearance. Remember that your friend we just mentioned, she's not always the hottest girl around. However, you want to define that so it's clear that there is something more to the question. Let's take a look at the things that she's doing that you might not be doing. First is to check your vibe. Who would you rather be around? Someone boring, who sucks the energy out of you, or someone who is super fun? The answer is clear, alright? People that are fun to be around naturally attract others to them. We're not talking about being the life of a party if it's not your thing, but being pleasant, energetic goes a long way. So how do you check your vibe? Are you overly negative? Do you drain the energy out of others? If this sounds like you, it may be a reason you're not attracting the men that you want. Men are drawn to women who are happy, positive, and optimistic. So try your best to emulate these qualities. Not only will men want to be around you, but also pretty much everyone else. Remember also, the next thing is take him off the pedestal. But when the time for some interaction finally comes, you have built him so high, so much in your head that you have a hard time just being natural. Now, you've got a problem because the second you put someone in a pedestal is the second you give him permission to look down on you. But it seems so incredible, you say. How can I avoid this, you ask yourself? For starters, remind yourself that you know nothing about this guy. You're assigning him more value than he may have simply because of his looks. Instead, use your interactions to discover things about him so that you can learn whether he's just a pretty face or if you really do like him. Break his power over you by thinking of guys you find more attractive and desirable. When you remember that there's plenty of options, he becomes less threatened and takes on less importance. What about if you're not feeling so confident? The answer is easy. Fake it till you make it. Next is to use your body language. You have to understand how to flirt with a guy to know how to attract one. And part of becoming an expert flirt is using your body language to convey the message that you are interested in. Here are some ways to flirt with him using just your body. Keep your arms and legs uncrossed. Use your expression to engage him. Keep your hands where he can see them and don't ever put them in your pockets. Remember to make eye contact. Lean in when you're talking to him and remember to be yourself. One of the best pieces of advice on how to get a guy to like you is to be yourself. Don't think you have to act in a certain way to pick guys' interest. Dress the way you feel most comfortable. Flirting, however, is a most natural way, and above all, drop the mysterious act. When you behave as you truly are, you feel more at ease. Guys are drawn to women who are comfortable in their own skin, and you won't even have to ask if the guy likes you. His interest in you will be readily apparent. Stop comparing yourself. Falling into a trap of comparing yourself with other women is something that you're all drawn at one time or another. As it's completely understandable, it is hard to look at someone who has never-ending list of suitors and wonder what the heck are you doing wrong? And from there, it is a short jump. Everything of her looks, her body, her personality, or whatever. As hard as it may be, if you want to attract a man, place this mindset aside. Someone who compares themselves constantly with others is insecure in some way. And just the way confidence is always bubbling under the surface, so too is insecurity. Men are able to sense what you are insecure in your personality. My advice, instead of focusing on others, focus on yourself. You feel better when you do so. Know what you bring to the table, which will endow you with an attractive quality, and don't worry about what other women are doing. To show interest. Here's another quality that women are highly successful at attracting men have in common. They are unafraid to make their interests known. As a study demonstrated, one surefire way to build attraction is to show interest in your desirable friend who knows this. So she flirts with guys she finds attractive. He lets them know she's receptive to his advances. Showing interest doesn't mean hanging all over around him and trying to make out with him right away. Here are some ways that you can communicate your curiosity without looking desperate. Ask him about himself. Guys love to talk about themselves. There's no better way to show your interest than to getting him to spill the details about his life. Next is to actively listen as he talks. Don't interrupt him when he speaks and make sure your phone is put away. Find a way to touch him. Those two small touches when you're talking to somebody goes a long way. You see, a light touch on the arm is a powerful fleeting tool since it shows that you don't mind being close to him. Sit upright. Good posture communicates confidence and it also conveys an interest in your conversation. Be open and experience when you are out. Whether you are out alone or in a group, safely the number one priority for anyone, no matter their gender or identity. If you do feel comfortable in your situation, try considering the vibe that you give off to the guys. To the intangible, quality could be anything from your body posture, your facial expression, your differences between someone approaching you or avoiding you. If you do feel comfortable in a situation, try considering the vibe that you give off to guys. The intangible quality could be anything from your body posture to facial expression, the difference between someone approaching you or avoiding you. If you're not your intention of putting out a stay away from me vibe may scare guys off and prevent a possible conversation. If someone you like approaches you and wants to talk, try to smile and appear friendly and don't let your nervousness appear like a disinterested or you're afraid of him. If you're interested in learning more about the mysteries and exciting world of dating, or will find some more information attracting the opposite sex, or if you find yourself frequently exercising relationship problems or issues with self-esteem, subscribe. And if you're not to this channel, as I will be sharing with you more wisdom in this subject. So now, how do you attract a man that you want? Men are visual creatures, plain and simple. Nature has made us that way. It is how we operate. Beyond our rational creativity minds, we are simple animals that are wired to continue the human race. In essence, we are procreating machines. Scientists calculate that over 99% of all the species that ever lived have become extinct, but not as humans. Why? Because our genetic wiring continues to evolve in ways of masterfully at mating and reproduction. A big piece of that mystery starts with a man's complete infatuation with a woman, which biochemically speaking is sparked solely from the visual. Of course, you are more than just looks, but you can still capitalize on the 20 million old process that has embedded our DNA and learn how to attract a man into your territory. So for women curious about how to get a guy that you like, there are simple ways that you can beef up your mating game and attract few more men into your life. Men are more intimidated than ever to approach a woman in the 21st century. Why? You can do all just as much as we can now. So we are lacking the confidence that our forefathers had when roles were more clearly defined. A woman's smile can ignite a man's courage to walk up to you, to raise your shoulder and arch your back. This one will sound a little ridiculous, but you might want to let nature use its own sexual elixir to give you an assist while you are out and about. We have looked at how to attract a man in ways that he cannot resist you and the ways that you can sexually attract a man. If you're a fan of these types of video, press on the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel, and remember to tap on the bell so that you'll be alerted by YouTube when the next video is out. Finally, if you like this video, click on the like button as it helps the growth of the channel and the YouTube algorithms. Thank you.